This is my Porsche 911. As you can see from the fried eggs, it's a 996. This particular car has survived, in its life it survived being wrecked twice and rebuilt twice. It's a hanger-on. However, it suffered a mechanical failure. Don't know what it was that caused it, but it then sat languishing on the driveway for 6 years. Well, I thought it was time to bring it back to its former glory, get it working. It's a bit tatty, but let's get it running first. We've already took the plugs in the cars out, had a look in the cylinders, they looked okay. We've drained the oil, nothing in there. We've had a look at the oil filter, that looked nice and clean. Well, we've done a bit more investigating and but to find out we may have found the problem. Okay, so let's start by getting the sump off. I know we've drained the oil and it looks okay, but yeah, I think we need to get the sump off properly and have a look at what's in there. We've not found any bits anywhere else, but who knows. That's coolant. Okay, so I won't lie to you, the sight of coolant coming out from a bolt from the sump initially had me clenching a little bit. However, that's clear coolant. There's no oil there. It's not dirty or anything. Could it be it's just coming from that bolt hole? Is there like where it could have got trapped above? I know there was a water leak, so yeah, let's pull the sump down and have a look what it looks like inside. I mean, that is what I'd expect intermixed coolant and oil to look like, but that's not what was coming from that bolt hole. So yeah, let's just get this sump, finish getting this sump off and have a look. I was relieved to find no intermix in the sump cover. However, that elation quickly turned to butt clenching again when I realised, well, I found a couple of bits which mean, yeah, things could be much worse. Okay, so this is what I found in the sump. These look like pieces of the oil scraper from one of the pistons, and yeah, it's cheek clenching moment again, because that's expensive. If there's a couple of pieces there, then there's cylinder damage. These are the only pieces I found. The rest is completely clear, but that's enough to damage a cylinder. Okay, so we found a piece of oil scraper. Here I've got this is actually a piston from a 996. As you can see, it was a 996 that had a horrific ending. But yeah, it's this bottom ring. There we go. This bottom ring here is the oil scraper, and let's see if we can see that a bit better. You can see okay, so as you can see, the bottom ring is made up of two very thin rings with like a spring in between it, and it looks like, from the piece that we found, is one of them very thin parts has broke off. So yeah, something so small, so innocuous, but that will have, I mean, it's scraped in between the piston, as you can imagine, scraped in between the piston and the cylinder, and that will have damaged the cylinders. So again we come to the same conclusion as the cylinders damaged. Same thing that happens with sort of bore score, the same thing that happens with D-chunk is the result, which is a new cylinder. So we've got right, let's strip it down and see what we've got, but I can't imagine in any world that the cylinder is not damaged and needs replacing. The thing is, how do we do that? Okay, so to start off, we've got to take off this anti-roll bar. We've got these braces to take off, this one here, and then we've got this sort of bit that goes in between the left and the right rear subframe. This brace can come out. Then I think it's just a matter of undoing a few more electrical connections, disconnect the aircon pump, and then it's just the bolts for the engine and we can lower it all down. So let's get on with that. We'll start with the anti-roll bar. Right, we'll loosen up the U-clamps to start with. And also the roll bar drop links. Move on to the other side. Now let's get this one of these braces off. Of course, it's always a good idea to put the bolts back where they came from, as not to lose them. I'll pop off the gear selector for the auto box, and I pulled it out from the holder, as you can see here. Right, let's get the wheels off so I can get to the drive shafts and undo them. I've added a couple of extensions to the gun so I can get to these bolts. Now we'll do the same on the other side. We need to loosen and take out the bolt above this one, and we can swivel this bracket out of the way. And the reason we want to do this is because we want to remove the transfer shaft from where it goes into the gearbox, because the whole engine and box is going to have to come down in one unit. Because this is a four-wheel drive, we've got to remove that transfer shaft from the gearbox. Yeah, once we've got these other 4 bolts undone, we can swivel this bracket out of the way, and we can get to the 3 bolts that hold the transfer shaft to the, I think it's called a gebo or something like that. But anyway, we undo those and we can slide the transfer shaft off the spline and move that out of the way. Okay, so I'm going to just pry this off the spline. It will come off, and then yeah, there we go. I'll move it out of the way. Okay, and now we'll just push this shoe bracket up out the way, ready for when we lower the gearbox. Okay, so let's start by getting the vacuum hose undone. Okay, what we're going to do is just pull the grey clip out, and then we can push the black piece in, and it'll just slide out. Same with these hoses at the top, just press the grey bits in at the side and it'll just pull out. Okay, next let's get the rest of the coolants out. Well, you know, the coolant that's left. I've already removed the one hose just with a pair of pipe clamps on that there, just there. Right, let's get the other one off on the thermostat. I have another hose we access from the engine lid. I need to get that one off as well. And we have a couple of hoses that feed coolant to the auto box, to the Tiptronic gearbox, which we'll need to remove as well. And whilst we're under the box, we've got this other connector on the side of the box that we need to undo. There's just like a twist lock that pulls that one off. Okay, quickly unplug this electrical connector on the manifold, and then we'll get on to removing the power steering bump. Okay, so we'll want to start with a turkey baster, of all things. What we're going to do, we're going to stick that down inside the power steering reservoir here, and we're going to suck out the pentasing until we've drained that out, and then we can remove that. Right, once we've got all the fluid out of this tank, we can then just unscrew the cap there and pull the whole thing off. Okay, so I think I'm ready to load the engine in the box and start stripping it, so I'm going to try and do that this week, weather permitting, of course. Oh, no, actually, I'm not. I've just thought something I've missed. Them two hoses going into these ones just here, them connectors, I'll just go and do them. They're the power steering feed and return, so I'll get that done. And of course, I'm going to get the them bolts out and get the aircon unit out as it's going down, because it gives me a little more room, so I'll lower it a foot and get into them. But until then, take it easy.